Hi there, my name is Bowie. I use they, them pronouns. This session, I'm going to be taking you through a runner's recovery and activation, looking at ways if you are a runner, if you're a jogger, that you can stretch out those tight muscles and also build some strength to help you have longevity with your jogging and with your running. There's going to be 2 rounds. We're going to work through some mobility exercises and then some strength exercises. Work through at your own pace. Feel good about stopping if you need to, having a break, a rest at any time. You know your body, so really work with where you are at. I want to acknowledge the original custodians of this land on which this video was being recorded and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. This video is brought to you by Proud to Play. We're going to start our session with a nice mobility warm-up. So we're going to start at our heads, or necks really. We're going to take one ear, and we're going to tilt it down towards our shoulder. We're going to come back to the center point and swap sides. And we're just going to alternate left and right here, keeping your arms nice and heavy, hands down by your sides. We don't want your shoulders creeping up towards your ears, which they sometimes tend to do. That's it. It's nice and slow. It doesn't matter where you're getting to. It's not about how far you can move. It's just about getting that nice stretch up the side of your neck. Let's do one more each side. That's it. Coming back to center point. You can take your chin now, point it up towards the roof and then tuck it down towards your collarbones. Just taking your time there. It doesn't have to touch your collarbones, just that's the direction you want your chin to tuck, because we don't want our heads dropping forwards. So chin tucks in. Wherever you're getting to, looking up and looking down is perfect. Again, just keeping your shoulders nice and relaxed. You don't want to be straining anything here. Just moving through. Nice and gentle. Let's do one more up, one more down. Coming back to that center point. We're going to take our chin now, we're going to bring it to the right, looking towards our right shoulder, just as close as you can get, and then to the left. Trying to make sure you keep your chin parallel with the floor here. You don't want to be looking up or down at all as you do this. Just keeping that chin nice and parallel with the floor. Getting to wherever you can get to. Your chin doesn't have to come close to your shoulder. It's just the general direction we want it turning in. Keeping those shoulders down, not shrugging up. They do like to get involved with pretty much anything we do. So nice heavy arms here. That's it. Let's do one more look in each direction. That's it. Coming back to our center point. Moving down to our shoulders now. If you feel comfortable to, you're going to take your arm, bring it straight up past your ear and back down and around. Nice and controlled circle here. If you've had shoulder injuries, dislocations, anything like that, you might want to start with a shrug, raising that elbow up as high as you feel comfortable to, but work within your range. Those are 2 options that you can use and feel good about trying out either one. You may find one is more comfortable for you than the other. That is perfect. But we keep this controlled regardless of how we're doing it. We don't swing our arm, we don't swing our shoulder as we shrug. We want full control here. Nice slow rotation lifting up and then passing down and around. Let's do one more and then we're going to reverse it. So we're going to go in the opposite direction now. We bring it back, up and over. Twisting at the hips just a little bit here. You notice my hips aren't fixed in one position. Allow that rotation in your body as you move and really feel good about that. Just taking your time. Nice controlled movements. It's okay if there's clicks and clunks. Shoulders can be noisy. Let's do one more. And now let's swap sides. So we're going to do the same thing. Opposite arm, we're going to start circling backwards. Again, that gentle twist at the hips as you move here. It's perfect. Controlling it. Noticing if it feels different to the other side as well. Sometimes one side will feel different to the other, and that's okay. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And now we're going to reverse it. So bring it back, up and over. That's the way, nice and controlled. You might find that each direction feels a bit different even. It's all good. Wherever your body is at with how you move is perfect. There's no requirement to be anything specific other than where you are at. Let's keep it going. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Perfect. Giving your arms a bit of a shake. We're going to take our hands, we're going to tuck our elbows into our sides so that they don't get involved. And we're going to take our hands and we're going to circle our palms towards us, nice and slow. You can do these fast, but I want you to try and do these nice and slow and circle as much as you can. Try and get to that full range of movement that your wrists can get to without straining anything. We're not trying to force any positions here, but just taking your time, going through that full range of motion. Clicks and pops, totally okay. That's it. Now we're going to reverse that. So we're going to push our hands down, push our backs of our hands away from us. Again, trying to go for that full range without straining. So see how much you can get your wrists to circle here. And each side might be a bit different. That's okay. We tend to use one hand more than the other, so it gets a little bit more worn out sometimes than our non-dominant hand. So it's all good wherever you are at. That's it. Let's do one more. Nice. Shaking it off. We're going to bring our hands to our hips here. Feet are going to be somewhere around hip width. Find that spot that feels comfortable for you because it's going to be different for each of us. Soft knees here. You don't want to have straight legs. You're going to gently push your hips forward, probably a little bit further than what you feel comfortable to, but not so far that you tip over. And we're going to push our hips around to the side, keeping them pushed forward as we do, around to the side as far as we can, around the back, poking our butts out a little. It's okay if it feels a bit awkward. It is. That's it. Nice and slow. You might find you've got clunky corners as you circle here, and that's okay. Wherever you are at. It's all good. You might find one side is even a little bit clunkier than the other. Just something new and interesting you might realize about yourself today. Taking that time, but keeping your chest up. It can be easy for our chests to drop down and our heads think that our hips are moving just because our head moves. But what we actually want is as we push our hips back, gently softening the knees, reaching the hips back, but our head's going to stay nice and level. We're going to do one more circle and then we're going to switch directions. That's it. Coming back to that starting point, hips pushed forward still, and we reverse it. You might find that this direction feels different to the other direction. That's okay. Wherever you're at, it's all good. It's taking your time. Especially if you find you're doing a circle and you've got one side that's a little bit stiff, even slow it down through that tight spot and really savor that sensation. Oh, sometimes it can feel quite interesting, but it's okay. Let's do one more. Yes. Coming back to normal, just standing upright. We're going to bring our feet closer together now. They can be completely together or a little bit apart. Doesn't matter. Gently dipping the knees, pressing them forwards, and we're going to circle around. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. We don't want to push our knees too far out to the side because they're not made to do that. And just be mindful, you're not leaning weight on the tops of your knees. My hands are here to give them a job because otherwise they dangle about. It's a little bit awkward. So I put my hands here to give them a job, not to hold my torso up. Let's do one more. And let's go reverse it now. We're going to go back in that opposite direction. Just taking your time. That's it. Nice. Coming to standing. We're going to finish this off with ankle circles. So if you need to hold something here for balance, because we are going to come onto one foot, feel good about holding the back of a chair, a wall, broomstick, whatever you got lying around. We're going to lift one foot up and we're going to circle inwards. Again, same as with our wrists, we want to try and get the full range of motion through that circle that we can without forcing or straining anything. That's it. Let's do 2 more. 8, 9, and that's about 10. And we're going to circle back in the opposite direction. Taking your time here. You could do these quickly, but we don't want to go fast. We want to go nice and slow, nice and controlled, really reaching that full range of motion. That's it. Last one. A foot comes down, we're going to swap sides. So we lift the opposite foot. Now, not doing these circles until you have balance as well. You don't want to try and be doing an ankle circle while stabilizing your body. It makes it a little bit tricky. So once you have balance, we circle inwards. Just taking your time. And then outwards. That's it, full range of motion there. If each side feels different, it's totally okay. Alrighty friends, we're going to take it down to the floor now. So I will meet you down there. Here we are on the floor to continue our warm up. We're going to come onto our hands and knees now. You're going to take your hands, rotating your fingers out and around and bringing your palms to the floor. Feel good about sitting up on your heels as much as you need to take that pressure off your hands. The more you sit back down onto your heels, the more intense you're going to feel the stretch up the inside of your forearms. I'm just going to take a moment here. We're just going to sit, breathe through. This one might be really tight. If you've never done this before, just try and do your best, keeping your palms on the floor. So shift your hands as close to your knees as you need to keep your palms flat on the floor here. That's how we get the most out of this stretch. That's it. Just breathing through. And hold for another 2, 1, and lifting up. We're going to flip our hands over. So the backs of our hands come to the floor now. Fingers pointing at our knees. And shifting your hands as far away from your knees as you feel comfortable to get a big stretch down the back of your arm, while keeping the backs of your hands on the floor. And this one might send some interesting sensations through your palms and fingers. It could be stretching up the backs of your arms. It might be weird tingles or pins and needles feeling. It's okay. Those nerve sensations are okay. It's not a bad thing to have interesting feelings through this stretch. So don't worry if you do notice that. When we're very tight through our arms, that we can have that happen. That's it. Coming up off our hands there. Nice. We're going to come to our hands and knees now. Hands under the fronts of our shoulders, knees under our hips, toes curled under. We're going to lift our knees up off the floor, push our hips back towards the roof, press our heels down towards the ground. If you're in this position, it feels a bit uncomfortable. Feel good about shifting your hands a bit further forward if you like. And your knees can stay bent, so feel good about that. And when you're ready, we're going to shift our weight forward towards our hands, drop our hips down towards the floor, looking up. It's okay if your knees rest on the floor here as well. Coming back to that hands and knees position, resetting, lifting the knees up again. We're going to work through this just a few more times. Holding this position here, as long as you feel good about it as well. If you're getting a nice big stretch up the back of your legs, feel good about just taking that moment here, letting your head hang. And when you're ready, coming forward, looking up, getting that nice bend through your spine. That's it. Resetting, going again. That's the way, coming forward. Shifting your hands as far away as you need to feel comfortable here. I'm going through 2 more times. That's it. Controlling that shift forward. We don't want to drop, especially if our knees come down the floor. We don't want to jar our backs at all. Last one. That's it. Coming back. Alrighty, friends. I hope you Feel a bit more warmed up? We are about to jump into our first round. If you need to grab a sip of water or have a break, feel good about doing that, and I'll see you back in just a moment. Hi there, friend. Welcome to our first round. We are going to go through 4 mobility exercises. Our first one, we are going to come onto our backs, laying down. Set yourself up. Take that moment to settle in here as well. Feel good about that. When you're ready, just tucking your knees up towards your chest here. Taking your hands, wrapping them around the fronts of your knees or gripping under the backs of your legs, whatever feels good for you. We're going to wrap and we're just going to gently pull our knees towards our chest. I'm just going to hold here, gently bracing with our hands. If you can tuck your knees up enough to roll your tailbone up, great. If not, it's all good as well. And feel good about bringing your knees as wide as you need here to get them as close to your torso as you can. Just breathing through. You may be noticing the stretch through your lower back, up the backs of your legs, wherever you're feeling it. It's all good. And we're going to relax out of that, bringing your feet gently to the floor. We're going to roll over onto our fronts, setting ourselves up on hands and knees to start with. We're going to take one leg, does not matter which one because we will do both. We're going to step it forward and then across to our opposite hand here, laying our leg down to the floor in front of us. And our other leg is going to be reaching out behind. We're going to start here. We're going to do a little 60-second hold. So starting up nice and tall here, because this one could be quite intense. You'd most likely be feeling it mainly through this hip here. You may be feeling it through the back of that leg though, or even down the front of your back leg. Wherever you're feeling it is fine. It's totally unique to you based on how your body moves. If you're finding you're quite comfortable in this position, you can start to bring your hands further forwards and that will intensify the stretch. The lower your torso comes to the floor, the more you're going to increase this stretch. So start nice and slow. If you find you're having a real challenge relaxing, feel good about rolling up a cushion and sticking it under the bottom edge of your hip there, just so you can rest against it a little bit for that bit of extra support. Find those ways that help you relax and really feel good about that. That's it. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. And we're going to swap sides, stepping up and out. We'll take our opposite leg, step it forward. I'm going to walk it across just like this, bringing it down, reaching that back leg out, and we're going again. You might find one side is a bit tighter than the other, and that is totally okay wherever you're at. Holding yourself up as high as you need to here. It doesn't matter where this foot comes in relation to your torso either. I just want you to focus on that stretch that you're feeling through the side of your hip on this bent knee, and also maybe a little bit through the front of this back leg here if you're particularly tight. If you feel that intensity easing, feel good about creeping your hands forwards a little bit more. Doing your best to relax into this, not resisting. You might find that tension starts to creep in through your legs. So just doing your best to sink into this stretch. So breathing out nice and slow. Everything's relaxing, even if it feels like it wants to resist. That's it. And let's step ourselves out of that. Oh, yes. Staying on our hands and knees though. We're going to take that starting leg and we're going to step it forwards again so that it is under our front shoulder. Our opposite hand stays on the floor and the hand on the same side as our front foot is going to lift up. We're going to take it and we're going to reach it up towards the roof, twisting at the hips here, stretching your fingers right up. Coming back down, and we're just going to gently rotate here, pointing our fingers up towards the roof. That's it. If you want to make this one a little bit more challenging, this back leg here, feel good about raising that knee up off the floor if you like, increasing that challenge, increasing that stretch as well. You'll likely be feeling this one through the side of this hip here on the front leg, maybe through the calf of the back leg. Just taking your time. This one can be a little bit of work with balance. So just feel good about that, moving nice and slow. Let's go. We're going to do 2 more. Last one. Nice. Hand comes down to the floor on the outside of the foot. If your back knee was up, you can drop that down. Stepping back, and we're going to swap sides. So we step our opposite leg forward, bring it to under the front of our shoulder. The opposite hand stabilizes. We take our free hand and we rotate at the hips, pointing our fingers up towards the roof, coming back. Our eyes follow our fingers here. So as our fingers point up, we want our eyes to be looking at our fingers. That helps increase that rotation. Again, if you want to increase that stretch, bringing that back knee up off the floor, totally okay. But work with where you're at. You can give this a try. You may find it's not your jam and you just want to keep that back knee on the floor, and that is all good. Just taking your time, slow and steady. The faster you do this, the more it's going to throw your balance, and we don't want that. Let's do 2 more. That's it. Last one. Nice. Hand comes to the floor, stepping that foot back. And we're going to come to standing. Oh, yes. We're going to bring our feet to under our hips here. Standing up nice and tall. We're going to tuck the chin and then slowly roll ourselves forward, reaching down, fingers towards our toes, getting to wherever it is that you can get to. If you can reach your toes, amazing. If not, it's all good. Once we get to that low point, we're going to slowly roll back up. Taking our time. We're going to do 5 of these. Always starting by tucking the chin and then rolling down. Rolling back up, keeping our spine nice and rounded, like we're rolling down and unrolling, 1 vertebrae at a time, and our chin is the last thing to raise up. 3 to go. 3 to go. That's it. It's nice and slow. That's all. Taking your time. Let's go 1 more. You might find that as you've been working through these, you've gotten a little bit lower. Feeling that nice stretch up the backs of your legs there, up your lower back. Yes. Nice. We want to make our way back down to the floor. We're going to work through these 4 stretches another 2 times. So we start on our backs, tucking the knees. Again, bringing them as wide as you feel good about. Tucking them as close to your chest as you can. You might find this time through that it's a little bit easier. Maybe they're a little bit closer than they were last time because things have warmed up a little bit. Hooray. I'm feeling good about that. Just breathing through, taking your time. No rush, you can't rush a stretch. That's it. Slowly bringing your knees away from your chest, feet down to the floor, rolling over. Setting ourselves up for our pigeon pose. Our foot steps forward, comes across, and our leg comes down to the floor. We're doing our 60-second hold here. You might find this time through you've been able to start a little bit lower than the first time. Hooray, if that is the case. And if not, It is all good. Wherever you're at, sometimes it just takes time for things to warm up and get used to being in a certain position. Anytime you feel that stretch easing off, feeling good about bringing yourself just that little bit lower down. Breathing through, doing your best to relax your body, relax your shoulders, sinking. Imagine your hips are sinking down towards the floor. There's no resistance. Any sensation that you're feeling is totally okay. I'm not trying to avoid the stretch sensation, just noticing it. That's it. And let's pop up out of that and swap sides. Stepping that foot back, swapping our foot over, setting ourselves up. Again, starting from a taller position with your torso. Don't try and go straight into the bottom position you may have been able to get to the first time through. We really want to ease ourselves in, giving our body plenty of time to feel safe and to relax without forcing anything. It's really important with a stretch. We can't ever force a muscle to stretch. We need to relax for it to stretch. Gradually easing in, not resisting. Again, you'll find you might get some tension starting to come through. You might find you're bracing or tightening through your stomach, your shoulders, your legs. Anytime you notice that happening, just taking a nice breath. And as you breathe out, imagine everything sinks, everything gets a little bit heavier. Almost there. And we're gonna step ourselves back out of that one. Taking that starting leg, we're gonna step it forward. Coming to our half kneeling position here for our rotations. Again, back knee can be on the floor or up in the air, whatever feels good for you. We're gonna rotate for 10. Pointing those fingers up towards the roof, eyes follow our fingers. Really helps with that rotation. Plus it helps our necks get a bit of extra movement as well. It's nice and slow. It's halfway. That's it. 2 more. That's it. Hand comes to floor. I'm going to step that foot back and swap sides. Stepping up in one go or a couple of smaller steps, whatever works for you. Making sure we're nice and stable before we start moving. And we're going to do 10 on the opposite side. Notice as I finish each one, I come back to my chest facing forwards again where I started. Always coming back to that starting point. It's halfway. That's it, we're almost there. 2 more. Last one. That's it. Hand comes to floor. Oh, stepping back. Coming to our feet. 5. Reaching forwards. Again, tucking the chin. Rolling down through the spine. Calming down. As low as you can go, wherever that is. And then slowly rolling back up through the spine. Keeping the chin tucked until the top and looking up. That's it. sitting your hips back as you do this. If you're feeling pulling in the back of your knees, feeling good about just gently bending them. Just a little bit to take that tension out. Pulling in the backs of the knees, it's not a good sign. So if you're finding that's happening, as you're coming down, just feel good about gently getting a nice softening through the knees there. Getting a big bend. It might help feel the stretch a little bit more up the backs of your legs. We've got 2 to go. That's it. 1 more. Amazing. We're going to run through all of this one more time. So coming back down to the floor, we start with our knee tucks here, up to our chest. Settling ourselves in, getting our knees where we want them, and we're just going to hold. You can hold with the insides of your elbows, you can grip with your hands, whatever works for you. It's all about preference. Just breathing here, allowing your knees to sink. If they want to drop outwards a little bit more, if they want to come closer to your chest, feeling good about that. Feet come to the floor. I'm going to roll it over. Coming to our pigeon pose. Setting our hands up, stepping that foot forward. Knee comes down to the ground. Really easing into that stretch. If you feel that you're able to get to a certain position, feel good about that. Just breathing through, sinking down. Everything gets heavier. Letting those hips sink down towards the floor, relaxing through the legs. Relaxing through the torso if you find you're bracing in your stomach or you're tightening it all. Tightening through the shoulders, doing your best to just loosen that up. Not resisting the stretch. Sinking down into it. That's it. We're almost there. It's taking your time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's swap sides. Bring ourselves back up. Stepping out. Swapping sides. You don't have to do that in one step. If you need to take a couple of smaller steps, that is all good. Taking that time. Again, working with where you're at, allowing those muscles to ease into whatever point of the stretch you're at. You might find this time around things have gotten a little bit easier though, which is great. But wherever you're at, just don't rush this. There's no particular position you should be able to get to. You certainly don't have to match where I'm at any point with any of these. Our bodies all move so differently. And because of that, it makes a difference with how we stretch, with how we can do anything. So feel good about where you're at because it's perfect for you. Yes. Just breathing through here. Almost there. Sinking down. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relaxing. Coming out of that. Stepping back. Stepping our opposite foot forward again. We have our 10 rotations here. Making sure we're nice and balanced. When you're ready, rotating at the hips, pointing the fingers up to the roof. Coming back down, working our way through. That's it. If you're feeling good about it, you can step that back leg a little bit further back, widen that stance, intensify that stretch through the front leg, through the back of the front leg. That's about halfway. We'll go another 5. 2 more. Last one. Hand comes to floor. We're going to step that foot back, stepping our opposite foot forward, either in one go or in a couple. Feel good about creeping that foot forwards to that position that feels good for you. Making sure you're nice and stable. And we're going to go the opposite direction. Not forcing anything here. Just taking your time. It's halfway. Almost there. It's 8. 2 more. Your last one. Hand comes to floor, stepping it back, and we're going to come to standing. Here we are, finish off. Tucking our chin. Rolling ourselves forward. That's it. Coming back up. Nice and slow here. Like we're sinking down, rolling through our spine. Again, feeling good about dipping the knees there, that little bit to take that tension out of the back of them. 3 to go. Last one. Amazing. Well done, friend. We have one more round to get through. So if you need to take a moment, have a breather, sip of water, feel good about that, I'll see you back in just a moment. Here we are, our final round. We have 4 new exercises to work through. These ones are going to be more strength focused. So we're going to get started. If you're not on the floor, please come join me. We're going to start coming over onto our backs. Here, yes. Finding that position that feels comfortable. And once you're here, there's 2 options for this. We're going to do a single leg hip bridge. So one leg is going to lift up off the floor, the other one is going to stay planted. Raising your hips up and just holding. You can either hold your leg out or feel good about crossing it like this if you'd prefer as well. Whatever feels more comfortable for you. Just making sure on this leg that's on the floor, you're driving down nice and strong through the heel here. And we're going to do about a 30-second hold. So another 10 to go, a bit less than that now. That's it. And then relaxing, swapping sides. So feel good about finding what works for you. If you'd prefer to hold your leg straight out here, keeping them level, perfect. If you wanted to cross that leg and you find that a little bit more comfortable, feel good about that as well. Just breathing through, doing really well. So 10 seconds to go. Keeping your hips up as high as you can, but not arching through your back. That's it. 3, 2, 1. And relaxing, coming down. We're going to come onto our side here. I'm going to prop ourselves up on one elbow. It's just going to sit under the shoulder. We're not going to sink though. We want to be braced here. So gently pressing through the floor with the elbow. The legs are going to come out straight. We're going to take our top leg. I'm just going to gently raise it up. Not super duper high, but we're not swinging it also. It's going to lift it as high as it can go come back, down. Feel good about having this front hand just bracing on the floor. That's it. We're going to go for 10 of these. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then we're going to roll over. I'm going to spin around for you though, so I stay facing, but feel good about just rolling over. I want to do exactly the same thing here. Legs out nice and straight, elbows under the shoulder, gently pressing against the floor to keep our ear away from our shoulder. I want to go 1, 2, we're going for 10. It's okay if one side lifts a little bit higher than the other. That's it. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Controlling it up, controlling it down. I'm going to come to standing. Anyway, body weight, single leg deadlift. So one foot is going to be standing, the other foot is just going to come up off the floor. You can keep that knee bent if you like. We're going to do 5 on each side. So one foot stays hovering, we reach our hips back, lower ourselves down, standing up. Getting as low as what feels good for you. There's no kind of minimum here. Just working with where you're at. Just making sure that back foot stays nice and light the whole time. You can have it placed down, just tips of the toes for stability. 2 more. That's it. Feel good about if you don't want to do 5, you do less, or if you feel like you're doing more, you can work up to about 10. But wherever you're at, it's all good. Find that number that feels good for you. I'm doing 5, and we're going to swap sides here. Exactly the same thing again, making sure we're nice and balanced before we start moving. So reaching that leg back, keeping our chest up nice and high, sitting the hips back as we do this. 3 to go. That's it. 1 more. Nice. Coming to standing. We're going to bring our feet under our hips. We're going to do 10 calf raises. So nice and slow, nice and controlled. Just coming up onto the toes. Heels come up as high off the ground as you feel good about. And then lowering back down nice and slowly. And we'll control up and control down. That's the way. If you want more of a challenge, feel good about holding something heavy as you do these as well. They can be done with, not just body weight. That's it. That's about 6. We're going to go to 10. So that's 7, 8, 2 more, 9, last one, 10. Amazing. Popping ourselves back down onto the floor. We're going to work through these 4 from the top again. So starting with our single leg hip bridge, using the starting leg to begin with. So whatever you did last time, do that side again. Either crossing your leg or holding it out nice and straight. And we're going to do a nice 30-second hold here. Just be mindful, this leg with the foot on the floor, you really want to be driving nice and strongly down through the heel. You want to be feeling this in the back of the leg, not in the lower back. So if you're arching through your lower back, you're going to be feeling it there. So I want you to focus on pressing your heel down into the floor as hard as you can. Almost there. Relaxing down, and let's swap sides. Crossing that leg over, holding that leg out nice and straight, your preference. Pressing down nice and strong through the heel. Doesn't matter how high your hips come up off the floor here. Wherever you're at is perfect. Just breathing through, driving down through that heel, keeping it strong, keeping it stable. Relaxing down. Nice. Coming over onto the side, we have our lateral leg raises, setting ourselves up nice and strong through that shoulder. Again, gently pressing down with the elbow, keeping our shoulder away from our ear. We're going for 10. 1. Nice and slow, nice and controlled, up and down. That's it. It's halfway, it's 5. Almost there. 2 more. Last one. Swapping sides. We're good at rolling over or spinning it around, whatever works for you. Setting ourselves up again, nice and strong through this shoulder, through this elbow. Front hand or top hand can be on the floor for support. Feeling good about that. Nice and slow. That's halfway. Two more. As you get fatigued, try not to swing. You just want to keep that raise happening. It doesn't matter how high your leg gets, just making sure you're pulling that leg upwards. We have our 5 single leg deadlifts now. Coming to standing, starting with that same starting leg as last time. Other foot nice and light. Reaching that leg back, bending at the hip and at the knee at the same time. That's it. That's it. 2 more. Last one. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. Amazing. Swapping sides. Setting ourselves up, making sure we're balanced before we start moving at any point. We're 5 on this side. That's it. Two more. That's it, that's our last one. Nice. Feet come to under the hips for our calf raises. Nice and slow, nice and controlled, raising those heels up and down. Go for 10 here. This is 5, this is halfway. Balance. Making sure you keep focus, gently bracing or squeezing through your butt. That's it. I'll do 2 more. Last one. Nice. Back down to the floor. One more time through it all. Again, resting as you need here as well. So if you find you want to have a breather, feel really good about that. You know your body, you know where you're at. So really work with that. Crossing that leg, raising those hips, or just holding that leg up. Your call. Just driving down nice and strong through that grounded heel. That's it. Just breathing, holding wherever you're at and feeling good about that. It's okay if things get a little bit trembly. It's all good. We're working hard here. So 3, 2, 1. Coming down, swapping sides. Exactly the same thing again. Driving down nice and strong through that heel. You might find one side is a little bit easier than the other. Generally, our dominant side is going to be a little bit easier just because it's a little bit stronger. That's okay. But if you find your non-dominant leg can't hold as long as your dominant leg, then work to the non-dominant side. So don't hold longer on your stronger side just because you can. Only hold to the side that is less dominant. Coming down. That way we develop evenly and we don't keep increasing that strength difference. Coming over to our side for our lateral leg raises. Nice and strong through that shoulder. Going for 10. It's halfway, that's 5. Keep it slow, keep it controlled. Last one. That's it. Rolling over, spinning around, whatever you feel like. Swapping sides, setting up. Let's go. Staying nice and braced through this bottom arm. Just taking your time. It's halfway, that's 5. Two more. Okay, last one. Come into standing with our single leg deadlifts. Just for 5. When you're ready. Setting up, making sure we've got balance. Keeping this foot off the floor just as light as possible. 2 more. Last one. Swapping sides. That's it, halfway. 2 more. Alrighty, last one. You got this. Nice. Finishing off with our calf raises, feet under the hips. Nice and slow, nice and controlled, coming up onto the toes. That's it. It's 5, it's halfway. Keeping it nice and even between the feet. That's it. 2 to go. Yeah, last one. Oh, shaking it out, amazing. Well done, friend. I hope you enjoyed this session. I hope you felt a little bit challenged, but also quite accomplished in what you've been able to do. You can do this session as many times as you like, working through building up those reps. If you found that you had to start quite low, it's all good wherever you're at. Perfect. The fact that you're starting is amazing. I hope you enjoy. I will see you next session. Have a rad as day.